Hey there, I'm estate planning attorney, Paul Rabelais, and in this video, I'm going to do two things. Yes, I'm going to show you exactly what an estate planning design meeting with this attorney, me, looks and sounds like. And at the same time, I hope I can simply give you some motivation to take care of your family through estate planning, because you'll see that the estate planning conversation can be really satisfying and rewarding, and not strenuous. So this video will help you whether you choose to seek out some other attorney or law firm on your own, or whether you say to yourself, hey, I think I'll go online and set up a Zoom meeting with Paul or one of their America's estate planning lawyers on his team. My goal here is to just get people to overcome that estate planning procrastination that can be so costly in many ways to families. So if after watching this or other videos you work with me or my firm, great. Or if you work with a different attorney or law firm, great. But this should give you some idea of what to expect. And while I know each attorney has their style or method of attempting to help you create an impactful inheritance, because I suppose there are different ways to peel an orange, I'm going to share what happens from start to finish when someone watches one or more of my 600 plus videos or goes to our website, the link's in the description below, and says to themselves, I'm going to schedule one of these estate planning design Zoom meetings and see where it goes. So this is my process that I've developed over 3 decades. It starts with someone clicking the link in the description below to schedule their Zoom estate planning design meeting. From there, you'll be led to an online form. You'll see my picture at the top where we ask you to fill out some basic information about yourself, your family. You're provided a list of common estate planning concerns, and you can check those that are relevant to you, along with a text box where you can describe any particular or unique family circumstances that you would want to discuss in an overall discussion about putting and keeping your estate legal affairs in order. Because when it comes to estate planning, I'm convinced there's no one out there who is concerned about nothing. Everybody is worried about something. It's just whether they are ready to do something about it. So this is the part that's really important. To me, the most important thing about your estate planning is not that you have a will or that you have a living trust plan, but the most important thing when it comes to your estate planning is, what are your biggest worries or concerns about the way you pass along this lifetime body of work to your closest loved ones, and then developing and implementing a plan to eliminate those worries or concerns. So what are the most common worries or concerns that I hear people tell me in their own layman's terms that they want to address? Well, when we start to just scratch the surface, here's a few things that I commonly hear. Paul, I don't want to leave a big mess for my family. Or similarly, I want things to be easy for my survivors. Or some initially say some version of, I don't want my estate going to blank. But the blank is usually filled in with, I don't want my estate going to the government, or I don't want my estate being eaten up by probate expenses, or I don't want my estate going to the IRS, or even I don't want my estate going to lawyers. So it's wise and legitimate to say that you don't want your estate going to outside third parties and you'd want to see it stay in the family. Others might say, I want to be fair to each of my children. And they struggle because they may want to leave certain assets a certain way for their kids, but they want to be fair, or they know that a certain adult child or children will do a better job being in charge of the estate settlement, but the parents don't want it to appear that they're showing favoritism toward one or more of their kids. So ultimately, we sometimes have to dig a little deeper and give people good options so they can choose from those options and determine what is fair in their family situation. Others say, I want to make sure my spouse is taken care of. Others disclose that they're in a second or third marriage and they want to provide an impactful inheritance and a positive inheriting experience for their spouse and their kids from a previous marriage or relationship. Others say one or more of my heirs can't handle money, so I want to explore how I can avoid dumping a big chunk in their lap. While others say something like, I don't want my daughter's inheritance to be cut in half if she gets divorced after inheriting from me. There are truly an unlimited number of legitimate worries or concerns that people can and do have when they dig just a little bit as they start the process of creating that impactful inheritance. Now from there, we're somewhat off and running. I feel like it's my job to judge or confirm with that person what's really eating at them the most, and then perhaps get a better understanding of why that's one of their biggest concerns, so that then I can guide that person or that couple through the options that are available to eliminate the concern or the problem. So for example, if someone says their biggest anxiety is the potential for taxes, then we'll start exploring options that they have to avoid or eliminate taxes. Or if they say their biggest concern is they don't want their survivors to have to deal with lawyers in courts when they die, we might start exploring probate avoidance options. And during this process of identifying estate issues that cause apprehension and then exposing why it causes apprehension and then guiding them through the informed decisions to eliminate apprehension, well, that's the magic of estate planning. And so yes, during that initial estate planning design meeting, there will likely be other things discussed. Perhaps there are a number of common sense estate planning decisions that were not part of that initial process of apprehension causing issues, so those need to be addressed. And there's always discussion about how our law firm works, the process of getting estate legal affairs in order, the timing, the legal expense, all those things that are important to people and should be addressed before someone commits to formally getting started. But I think the big mistake people make is they focus on the particular tools of estate planning and they don't spend enough or any time getting an opportunity to answer the right questions that explore their needs so that a solution can be matched to meet those specific needs. And probably a pretty good sign that you're not having the right kind of conversation in your first substantive conversation with an estate planning attorney is if during the conversation you tell yourself something like, I don't understand what this attorney is trying to tell me. I'm just hearing a bunch of complicated legal terms that I don't understand. And if that's you, you probably need to consider a different path or approach to leaving your impactful inheritance because you're probably not adequately addressing the estate planning areas that mean the most to you. Hope this helps. We'll see you next time.